Good evening. Hope everybody's doing well. Hope everybody had a nice weekend. Well, I need some more rope. I need some more rope. You need some more rope. We all need some more rope. Lots more rope. I never realized just how much I would estimate how much rope we need. And let me explain. Because, okay, first of all, no making fun of the show's title or not. No. I'm preparing for T-Watt khaki. T-Watt khaki. That is the end where our tall, kind, hairy apes kill infidels. On that day is going to be the day that you need to unpack your rope. All right? So let me repeat that. On the day that's the end where our tall, kind, hairy apes kill infidels, when you see that happen, that is the sign. And you need to open up your rope. Now listen carefully. Depending upon where you're at, whether or not you're in the city with tall skyscrapers or whether or not you're, I don't know, just in a home like we are, depends on the goal and the mission of the rope. Now listen up, this is important. Don't get your roles confused. If you live in a small one-story home, what you want to do, climb up on the roof and you want to find the flue pipe. Tie that rope real damn tight around that flue pipe, right? And then the other end of the rope you want to tie around your ankle, right? You don't need to measure out anything. Just use the whole damn rope. That's what it's there for. And what that is for that moment, on that day, the end where our tall, kind, hairy apes kill infidels. On that day, what you're going to need to do is be able to run across your roof, fly off the end of it, hang upside down with your AR-15 AK-47A MA1 rifle, and you're gonna just take them out, right? Pay attention. That's the folks that are in the one-story house. Now, the folks that are in the cities, man, you're in the cities, this is a tough one. The purpose and objective of the rope in the city is make sure you're up about 60th floor in a building. Hurry up. Yeah, hurry up and you tie that rope real damn tight around a desk. And you take the chair and you throw it through the window. Now this is the important part. When you jump through the window, you can't just jump. No, you'll fail. If you just jump, just like any old person that didn't care, you just jump out, you're probably not going to make it. You have to jump out. You have to put out your arms and your legs. And you have to look like those. Why do you think they do that on the movies? They do that on the movies because that's how you have to do it. If you don't do it that way, you're not going to survive. So let me recap. You take your rope, the one you brought for the mission and objective on the end, that day where it's the end, where our tall, kind, hairy apes kill infidels on that day. Tie that rope real damn tight around that desk leg. Take the desk chair, throw it through the window, and the most important part, as you exit the window, wait, don't forget this. You're going to want to tie the rope around your, I almost forgot that. Don't forget to tie the rope around your ankle, because then it's just all for naught. So, around the desk leg and around your ankle, chair through the window, and remember the most important part, even more important than making sure your ankle's tied, make sure you exit that window with your arms and legs out, chest out, right? With that, you're going to take on the world look, because if you don't do that, you won't make it. That's the most important part. Why am I acting so ignorant? Because that's what these channels are sounding like, with all their little tactical advice and We're gonna need to hide. Bob, it's the mailman. Yeah, man, but I saw the documents, man. I know how they're gonna use the mail lady to come down on us and steal our foil hats, and it's all over then, because then those kind hairy apes won't even be interested in helping us if we don't have our hats anymore. Let me explain why I'm acting so stupid. Howdy, Hexafoos. Because let me tell you, real world versus prepper world. Now, I've touched on this a little bit lately about community and the importance of building community and the importance of not acting like an asshat. There's a lot of individuals that are in an influential space that have done no research, no study into what happens to individuals that do the very things that they're advising others to do. And let's just say, for many of them, it don't end well. So they want to throw out these prepper fantasy tales. Let me throw one out. So a majority of the channels, the quote-unquote prepping channels, will sit there and tell you or have the attitude like, oh, somebody comes to your door, you got to tell them, no, you don't know nothing. You haven't ate for 20 years, and, well, you're just going to suck off your mom's teeth. That's how you're going to survive. Well, I mean, if I was somebody that came upon your house and you told me that, I think I would just turn around and walk away. However, back to the real world. People aren't gonna buy stories, and people aren't gonna care about the stories, right? People are gonna figure out pretty quickly who's got a little something or not. Just the way it is. Now, it's going to be, in that aspect, even worse in your smaller communities, more so in the cities, because the reason why is because everybody knows everybody. So in that aspect, in cities, it's just going to be a madhouse. But here's the thing. Just as many of you that live in, densely populated areas, just as many of you live in less densely populated areas. And in a less densely populated area, it's probably not a good idea to lead with a hammer. Let me explain why. Jim Bob has a family. Jim Bob's family has no food or no water or what have you. So Jim Bob takes it upon himself to try to find help somewhere. So Jim Bob sets out to go find sustenance for his family. Jim Bob gets shot in the head by Joe Bob just simply because he was walking up his driveway to ask him if there's any way you could help. It's only a matter of time before people that, cared about Jim Bob come knocking on your door. Now you can go back and all the events that's happened in different places around the world, and you will see that is what commonly happens to people that have that attitude. Now, I'm not in any way saying that you should make yourself a convenience store. No, not even remotely. There's better ways to deal with it. And that's all I'm hearing these prepper channels want to talk about is dealing with stuff with their AR-15. And if you're going to have more situations where you're dealing with your AR-15 more than your brain, then you need to be somewhere else. You're not in the right place. Plain and simple. That's an unsurvivable situation. I'm not saying that it's going to be Mayberry here. Absolutely not. But is it going to be the same thing that's going to be going on in St. Louis? Oh, hell no. It ain't even going to be the same thing as what's going on in, I don't know, there's another town in between us and St. Louis, Collinsville City. I'd call it a town city. Not huge. I don't know the population off the top of my head, but, that's going to be a bit of a madhouse. Not only is it the population density, but we'll say the quality of the population density as well. It's going to be an ugly, ugly place. Here, everywhere you're going to have craziness. You're going to have nonsense everywhere. There's not going to be a corner that you're not going to have it. But the amount of it, the per capita, if you will, of it, going to be much different. Again, I'm not saying that Jim Bob comes walking down the street that you open up your front door and say, hey, look, I don't mind cutting my family's ability to survive in half to be able to just give you this. No, I'm not saying that. But what I'm saying is maybe it should be dealt with a little bit more differently. Maybe, and you don't get this by just taking somebody out. You don't find this out. You can't learn this by just taking somebody out. Maybe Jim Bob had some skills that you could have used. Maybe Jim Bob was the only veterinarian in the area and you just took him out. People really need to think beyond this prepper fantasy stuff, because you know what? That fantasy is going to melt away real damn fast when those moments start coming. And people that right now think that they have such a taste, a craving for violence, you got to understand, that's people's bravado. That's bullshit. That's bullshit. Anybody that enjoys that type of stuff, truly enjoys that type of stuff, is very sick. I think a lot of it boils down to our media, our entertainment industry. But people in the United States are heavily addicted to violence. Heavily. And it's not good. Trash in, trash out. I'm not saying that, we need to nerf everything on TV. No, but I do think we need to nerf the hell out of everything that's on public television, and I think that we need to slap some parents upside the damn heads until they got some common sense to realize that their 7-year-olds shouldn't be watching NCIS. It's crazy. It is absolutely crazy. I just wanted to talk about that because I see it again. I see all this tactical bullshit. And I'm not saying don't be prepared. I'm not saying don't be able to defend yourself. I'm not saying don't practice, don't drill. I'm not saying any of that. I'm saying don't make that what your expectation of the majority of your encounters of other people. Don't make that as being the number one expectation. Oh man, but anybody could be. Stop. If you go into it with a fearful mindset, good people are going to get hurt, possibly including yourself. That's part of what's happening, what's going wrong in all of these shootings involving law enforcement. A lot of these individuals are individuals that should never be in that position. Plain and simple. And it's a fact. It's a fact. Man, a lot of people that think it's just fun and games, and it's not. And like I say, my stake in it is anybody that hears me, I at least want them to know the truth. I at least want them to stand a chance. But what you have to understand is you've got marketing teams literally spending billions of dollars a year on trying to get your mind stuck in a fantasy so you keep buying their products because you gotta have it or you're not gonna survive. Maybe we need to focus on how it is that we could be kind to one another. Maybe we need to focus on what it is, how it is we could help other people. If not taking food out of our own mouths to put into theirs, how could we help them? Is there anything that we could do at all to help these individuals if we can't help them with food? I believe there is. I believe there's a whole hell of a lot of stuff you can help them with, even if you cannot provide them food. And I would guess, and history would prove, if people would actually look it up, that those individuals that reach out and say, hey, look, I don't have it to be able to feed extra mouths. I don't have it. This is what I can do. This is what I do. I know such and such. I know that they need a little bit of work in the fields. Maybe you can go such and such. Tell them I sent you that way. See if they've got some work you can do for a little bit of food for your family. Maybe, I don't know, that might be a smarter approach than just shooting somebody in the head for walking down your driveway. There's going to be a lot of scared people if things would happen to go, sideways in a quick manner. There's going to be a lot of petrified people, and the most dangerous person on earth is somebody that is scared. Most dangerous. You'd rather have to deal with a psycho before you'd want to deal with somebody who's scared, and that's a fact. We don't want people scared. We want people prepared. And if people are thinking that every encounter that they run into after the balloon goes up is going to be some violent madness shooting spree breaking out where we're going to need 15 magazines and we're going to have 2 plates of vests or 2 plates of armor in our vest and we're going to... It gets stupid. It really gets stupid. Understand, folks, that a lot of these individuals that get out there bold and proud with that kind of mindset, it's not going to work for them very well, not for very long. You won't get to see that on YouTube, though. That's the thing. That's the thing. You don't get to see what the results are before you get put in the situation. That's why I'm urging, that's why I'm begging people to think and actually look into it. Are there violent encounters? Absolutely there is. Should you be prepared for violent encounters? Absolutely you should. Should you be looking for violent encounters? No. No. Just be well prepared, be better prepared, be well trained, and especially well disciplined. And make sure you've got backup and you know what you're doing. But making anybody a target just because they walk down a road or happen to be walking up your lane, probably not a good reason to execute someone. It may sound good at the time, but you, like I said earlier, you damn well better hope that they don't have a group of people that love them that's going to be coming and looking. Just real stuff, and I know it's not fun. It's not funny. And it's certainly not sexy. It's not something that I can go get you to go out and buy your new AR-15 MA-1AK. I thought survival was the objective, not domination. What a thought. What a thought.